Dictionary.com defines an unplanned approach as impromptu, done without preparation, unwitting, done without awareness, and spontaneous, done without thought. Sounds about right. Let's start the show.
Kyle, 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row. Who knew?
Well, my wife's been very supportive at this point.
Right.
She realized, well, you were gone for a week, so go play with your friends.
Go play with your friends. Yeah, I just didn't say anything to Mike.
What did you figure out? Do you have to go or what? What's the deal? When are you guys leaving?
I don't know that's going to happen now. It's,
really?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch going on.
All right.
He's getting nervous, so I don't know.
All right. That's
so maybe I'll just be around.
There's a couch.
Right.
Hey, there's a gymnastics.
Well, it's
track.
not quite that bad, but
there's a gymnastics track
right.
in the bathroom and a fridge. Rents $4 a month.
No, I have to tell you what happened to me before we start anything. I'll tell you what happened to me yesterday. It'll be really quick.
All right.
So talked to you, left, and stopped at the gas station. A couple hours later, decided I need to pee. And I'm wearing a collared shirt like I am,
It's
with
a nice shirt.
And it's a button up, so it's got two tails in the front, right? Yeah, and you know where this is going.
Pissed all over.
I pissed on my shirt. I pissed on my shirt. I was not happy yesterday.
That's a great lead-in to the guy we're talking to today. Not that he's pissed himself that I know of. But,
I didn't piss myself, just a shirt.
But a lot of the people...
I kept half of it up.
That's
the other half just fell over and right. Yeah.
Man, if
I were more gifted, it would have reached past the shirt. But I don't have that problem.
Junior college-wise, that's pissing yourself.
Right.
I did that too. I do it quite often. But good lead-in. Today, been excited about this one. If anybody that's listened heard the first two episodes with Rob, a quick recap of that. Rob went to the same junior college I did, played ball. And we were talking about some other stories at junior college, and one of the legends of that junior college reached out to me and said, man, that was awesome. I want to be on. And this is a guy that, again, I look up to. The weird thing about that junior college is whether you played with the person or not, the era that we all played in, it's like a brotherhood. I didn't play with Travis, knew who Travis was. I do remember the first, when we all showed up a week early, you were there. And we were all taking BP and shit together, and everybody's sizing each other up, and Travis was just hitting bombs, and everybody's like, who the fuck is that guy? Well, he graduated. He won't be here.
I hit dingers.
So, with that being said, Travis, we'll call him Buddy, graduated 2 years before me at Lincoln Trail. Like I said, stud, ended up at Eastern Illinois, and then at University of Kentucky, played for Coach Madison. And we'll get into it with him. I'm sure he's got some great stories. We played for the same people. We played with the same people. We lived in the same town. A lot of the same shit. So, Travis, welcome. Glad you joined us.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Kyle, for having me. And
Sure.
you too, Jason.
Yeah,
It
thanks
means
for
a
me.
lot to me.
Me
After I
first.
watched the first one, I had listened to Robbie. I thought, man, I'd love to do it. So I appreciate you having me on.
Well, we don't get too excited. Hey, we've got about 18 listeners.
Right. There'll be 8 or 9 people that'll be riveted.
But we have a good time. So that's all it's about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, so you started out in Bloomfield. You're from Bloomfield.
I am. Small town, just about 20 miles be west of Bloomington. And it's about 43 miles southeast of Terre Haute. Bloomfield's about 2,500 people. Small town, obviously. Dirt infield.
No shit. You guys played on a skin diamond?
Skin diamond until my senior year.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So we had to share the diamond with the girls softball team.
What?
Yeah. It was a good time. We thought we were in high cotton. To have
then
grass
Lincoln
infield.
Trail was a step up for you. You thought you were playing minor league ball. We thought we were playing a shithole.
Well, if you're sharing the field with the girls softball team, is that why that you're talking about hitting dingers all the time?
No.
It's only about 200 foot.
It was a
Hell yeah, man! He's
No wonder
just
you led
lacing
the
them.
state in hitting. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, I mean,
I thought it was a single. No, it's 3-run shot.
God.
it is a short porch. They put up a fence when the girls played.
No, I figured I was teasing.
Yeah. But it was still a short porch. But also, Jaffe, I led the state in doubles too. So.
I broke a school record for that too, man. Hey, there's a lot in common. You're better than I was.
Oh man, it was. So anyway, small town, didn't get a lot of looks. I remember my junior year, we had Bar Reef come to town.
Okay.
Bar Reef had some really, really good talent. They had a couple pitchers and a couple position players. They were being heavily recruited by USI, Coach Redmond at the time. And
they were good.
Yeah, they're national champs.
Yeah, they were good.
So that was kind
Southern
of
Indiana, Kyle. University of Southern Indiana.
My fault.
I didn't want you to think it was University
I
of
was
Sacramento.
glazing over, actually. I was just going to see what the dog was looking at.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So Vincent's ended up showing up. Blimpsker showed up. We had several kids go to junior college out of Bloomfield. A lot of talent. We still have a lot of talent. It's just we can't ever win a sectional because you have Shakamak in that 1A sectional, and they're like 4 or 5.
And they're rough.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wouldn't have known. Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. So it's tough to get out of there. We've had people like Mike Sherrard before me. He went to play at Wabash Valley.
I know that name.
Brett, his son, plays at Butler
Oh,
University
really?
now. Several. I mean, we had 50 home runs my junior year as a team.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's in a 28-game season, maybe? Maybe?
Not 28. It was more like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
28 would be a stretch.
Yeah.
But wow.
But back then, 20-game season, trying to hit, get it in between the girls' softball and rain. No lights.
Yeah.
We just had some good talent go through Bloomfield and the county for all that matter. But yeah, we had Jared Hostclaw. He's a prosecutor now. His son was really good. The Evans boys, Tyler and Tucker. Tyler played at Lincoln Trail. And
Okay. I do remember that name.
Yeah. He ended up signing a professional contract with the Astros. So it's kind of big news,
Right.
Small town, 2,500 people.
Sure.
Anyway, lots of talent.
So how do you get what were your aspirations? So I know why I went to junior college. I went to junior college because I didn't want to play Division III. That was not going to be an option for me. I always watched the guys that were better than me at Roncalli end up at University of Indianapolis. I'm like, why don't these guys ever go away? They're so good in my eyes. Why are they not going somewhere?
Well, before you answer that, you're saying it like it was an option and not a lack of choices.
No, and no,
I mean, maybe you didn't play Division I because nobody fucking wanted you to play Division I.
You know what, Kyle? Every time I think that my self-esteem starts to come up,
here it comes, and then I just show up with a hammer.
You bring in that axe and you just start chopping that fucker down, man. No, but I didn't want to play Division III. I wanted to go to as high as I could, and that was the only way back then. Was like, man, if you weren't getting looks and nobody was looking at you, you weren't gonna walk on probably. And obviously, Coach V helped with that because I knew him. We had a relationship, and he was over there. But what were you overlooked? Did you? I mean, being a small town, what basically made that your option?
Yeah. So the only big schools we played would be Northview. They were 3A school now. Bedford, North Lawrence. Mm-hmm. They were extremely good. And that's really it.
Right.
So if you wasn't playing a big school per se, it was.
Well, there was no travel. Summer
no
ball was kind of Legion ball.
Right.
I mean, that's the way it was.
Right. I'll say my big break was Coach Lester. He went to Lincoln Trail.
Oh, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah. So that was kind of my break. And I was, in my senior year, going into my senior year, I was getting letters from everybody.
Right.
So I wasn't a Prop 48, even though I probably should have been. I wasn't.
Well,
academically, I wasn't that strong, but I wasn't a Prop 48. But I chose junior college the same reason you did, is like I thought if I ever want to play at the highest level, this is where I have to start.
Right.
Because no one wants to go play at a D2, D3, or NAIA if they got big schools on their
right.
mind.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Right. So Nathan had actually told Coach Vittorio that, hey, I got a player at my high school, and he didn't think two shits about it.
V didn't?
No, just because, I got one from there, and, your arm's broke, and
Right.
And to Nathan's defense, he's probably the second best glove I've ever played with.
Okay.
Ever.
Right.
But he broke his arm, and it never healed right.
He couldn't throw.
Right. So
He could have Macho Man Savaged it, man. Learn how to throw left-handed, get back to AAA.
Well, I'll tell you something. 30 seconds about Nathan Lester is it was career-ending pitching-wise injury for him. Extremely tough as a sport he loved.
Right. Oh, for sure.
He would have had to re-break the arm and then go through and just forget about his senior season. But we played tennis together, and I was
whoa.
I was a much better tennis player than I was a baseball player.
So good. I noticed. I thought you tried to just skip over that he played tennis. I've got a good tennis story if you listen to the podcast.
So Nathan had in a sling had taught himself how to play left-handed. So every shot when he played number one doubles was a forehand. I mean, people would try to hit it to his offhand. There is no offhand.
Right, and there is no offhand.
Shit.
And it was awesome.
Oh, my God.
So that's a little bit about Nathan Lester and how I got to Lincoln Trail. But so rather than to play in a adult league or the Jasper Reds for the second year, I chose to play with the Indiana Express.
Right.
And got to know Coach Keefe. And all my teammates played there too. Beasley, Rexer. We had Andy Noblet.
Right.
Kevin Brown, which is big leaguer.
Right.
Catcher at USI. We just had great athletes. But that's how I got.
Slept on a bus.
Slept on a bus.
That's awesome, man. I remember. So when he was pitching that, I remember he was at the house. He was talking to my dad about that, about the whole Express thing and Keefe and everything, and that was so out in front of everything. Him thinking, let's get a team together and travel around, and like, what? People do that?
Yeah.
And then 3 years later,
Bulls.
the Bulls.
Right.
Take over.
Scott Rollins on the Bulls, and you're like,
Right.
So you obviously Lincoln Trail probably wasn't the only one contacting you. I mean, you got Coach Conley down there. You got Wabash Valley was really, really good back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Did you narrow it down there because of your connection with your coach and all that?
Well, I was lucky to have a great uncle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was awesome, Michael Hayes, that took me to every hitting camp to Florida, Oklahoma
really?
State,
Wow,
Florida. So I was getting lots of letters because my name kept on coming up on hitting average in the state of Indiana. So arbitrarily, they just send letters out to those kids.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see if this. Hold on 1 second.
You want it on?
I'm trying to get to the audio. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hey, special guest.
All right.
Travis, this is your life. Do you recognize this voice? Go ahead.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Coach Vittorio?
How about that? You like that surprise?
That's awesome.
Are we live?
We are. We're not. We're live. We are on the air. It's not a live show, but yes, we are on the air. And Buddy's into how he wanted so badly to go to Lincoln Trail, and the coach over there just was not interested in him at all.
Well, let me start out by saying two things. First of all, let me put a dip in because that's what we did at Lincoln Trail. And second, let me just confess if I've caused in Jason and Buddy, if I've caused you any mental health issues or something through the years, I'll just get that confession out of the way. I'm much calmer now, and but you know what? I wouldn't have done it any different, guys.
Me neither.
Nope, not a chance. And I wouldn't even have that opportunity if I didn't know who you were. So
I can't believe I'm talking to two prolific Lincoln Trail hitters here. This is awesome.
Well, I thought you were going to say prolific academics from Lincoln Trail Academia.
Well, let me put it this way: two prolific hitters and drinkers.
I don't know. Did you ever get kicked off the team?
Numerous times.
Numerous times. Me too. I tried to explain that to my nephew. I'm like, buddy, he kicks off the people he loves.
Hey, the time I come in the gym is about 45 minutes into practice, and he said, "Buddy Hayes, where you been?" I said, "Coach, I've been to the tutor." He goes, "Bullshit." And I said, "Yeah, you said academics before athletics. I'll see you tomorrow." I said, no, you won't see me tomorrow. I'm practicing. No, you're not. Y'all see you tomorrow. I said, no, you're not. It was almost a brawl at that point in time. But I left.
You did the right thing.
Came back tomorrow.
You know what? Everybody that I know that had an impact in his program, the coach's program, got kicked off the team or had to almost knuckle up with him once.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The time that sticks out the most in my whole career is we have all these recruits. I mean, we have probably 6 recruits there, and they're difference makers in the program. Jim Knight is up there taking hacks. All right, and we're out in the parking lot, out in left field of Lincoln Trail.
Right.
We got the net set up, and Sarge is just spinning off the ball, and Coach Torre goes, "Shit, you're not ready to go today." and Sarge, he bucks up, and he's wanting to do a good job in front of all these recruits, and he tells him to get out. And matter of fact, just go home. Just go home. You're done. So Sarge gets his bat. And he drags his bat through all of us, walking right in the middle of the field play. And he goes, you seen that, buddy? I said, I'll see you tomorrow, man. He goes, you kicked me off the team. You kicked me off the team in front of all those recruits. I said, hey, look at me. I'll see you tomorrow. He just demoralized one of the biggest, brawnyest kids on our team. Just demoralized
one of the 3 people on earth I'm scared shitless.
Right. Still today, right? Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm just here. Back then, I thought I could take you all on, which I probably couldn't, but I thought I could. But shit, I'm 58 years old now, and I just want to love on all you guys now. All right.
That's all we want.
I love you, Coach.
I might have one more good one in me though, but it's got to be a scrawny little shit, man.
We'll find one. Well, he kicked me off because he told everybody on our team at IPFW, he's like, everybody take a look at Jason. Take a look at him. He's always in front of the line. He's a captain. He's a leader. He's not anymore. Pick up your shit and get out. And I'm like, what? I'm looking at him like, what? So I'm like, whatever. This is like the 3rd time. I pick up my shit and I start to walk out, and one of the freshmen was like, do you think I should tell him that I was involved in that too? And I go, absolutely not. He's not keeping me off this team.
Right.
But if he finds out that I was facilitating other shit, now there's an issue. You keep your mouth shut. I'll be back in 2 days. I get a vacation. 2 days.
Right. From Coach, I need a vacation.
That's exactly right. Get in the office.
Right.
Well, what are you thinking? Oh, Coach, what are we thinking? What are we thinking here?
Right.
What do I need to do? Come in and just act real apologetic. Sorry, guys. My bad for being 21 and having a beer. That's my fault.
Right.
Oh,
I didn't realize, buddy, that they from a Catholic school they drink beer for breakfast when they're like 12. Man. I didn't realize that was just part of the Catholic thing, and I'm Catholic.
Oh, man.
That's awesome. Are you guys playing today?
We are. So far, we're on. I just talked to Greenwood's coach, and heck, our field's playable. I can't even believe it when I showed up, but yeah, we're playing 5 o'clock at Greenwood.
Softball's playing at home. Actually, I can't believe it either. All dirt.
Yeah.
So, I'll be over there. I'll see you a little bit later, probably. But we're gonna get. Yeah, you're coming on this show, and I'm getting a bunch of your old players on, and we're gonna do a roast on your ass.
I might be sick that day. But I do want to say, whoever's listening out there, it's my fondest memories of coaching. I've been fortunate to coach at every level, right, of college baseball, now high school. But were those Lincoln Trail days, man. The bond and the fellowship that we all created together, and you guys have kept it together, is just incredible to me, and it means so much to me. And I love all you guys now, man. I loved you back then, too. Some days I didn't like you guys didn't like me, but I love all you guys, man.
Well, it started with you, for sure.
Travis, anything else you want to embarrass Coach about? No, man, I love you too. I appreciate it. I wouldn't be the man I was or I am today.
We have Travis on here, so I have to say that 33 years of college coaching, one of the top 3 hitters I've ever coached. It was amazing. I can remember his fall of his freshman year. I'm trying to teach him how to hit, and ball got over, and Coach Castrana comes in and said, "Do me a favor, Coach V, don't say anything to Travis about hitting."
That is a true story.
And of course, especially at that age, ego and pride. Oh shit! What are you talking about, man? Do me a favor, Coach. Don't say anything to Travis about hitting.
Yeah.
Now, he needs to become a better fielder. So, of course, I thought I made him a fielder, but he's pretty good at that too, right? But, but he was a great hitter, and obviously we kind of packaged up there his final year at Kentucky, which I totally cherished. Probably that year at Kentucky more than anything, because Travis and I were together traveling that SEC route, and matter of fact, he got me in trouble after the Austin P game. You remember that, Travis? You weren't starting that day for some ungodly reason, and we're headed down to Mississippi State. And Coach Madison, Coach Bartlett, Coach Weisberg, myself, Coach Madison called a meeting, and we got beat by Austin P, which wasn't supposed to happen, and which Mike Eikenberry was on that team, another Lincoln trailer playing at Austin P, and we got in the room, Coach Madison's room, late at night. He's such a kind guy. He's one of the best people I've ever met in the coaching profession, Coach Madison, and was honored and humbled to be on his staff at Kentucky. But he starts saying, why can't we hit? What's going on offensively? And of course, I stood right up and says, "Well, your best hitter wasn't in the lineup tonight, guys." And of course, Coach Bartlett, the badass assistant coach, at least he thought he was. "Oh, that's bullshit. He's just one of your guys, right?" Well, goddamn right he was. He is one of my guys, right? And Coach Madison listened, put him in the lineup, and what'd you do that first night at Mississippi State, Travis? Go ahead. I'll let you tell it.
That's 2 for 3.
with a what?
I played right field. I hit a home run.
No. Yeah. There you go, with a bomb, right? And of course, I'm staring Coach Bartlett down, and he knew it, but he could whip my ass any day of the week. But I was acting like some badass as I walked down to the bullpen, right, walking away from him to get a rack of ribs from the fans.
They called me Opie, Coach's son, everything. Then they fed us the Sunday. That's
great.
It was awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but what Coach didn't tell you is I was batting 7-hole, and we got up to, I think we were 14th in the nation.
Oh, really?
At the time. Yeah, we had 1 or 2 losses. We got beat one game by Florida Atlantic, but we beat a lot of other schools. Rolled into Austin P and got hammered 2 games before the Mississippi State series, right?
Yeah.
Get hammered. So I went from 7-hole
to 4.
Yeah, to 4-hole, and I think first team All SEC, man. So of course I'm walking around the office with my chin up, my chest out, like right. I made this. I made this kid. Right? Yeah, I cloned this son of a bitch, man.
There's only one person in this room who can spot talent.
That's you.
Let alone, I hope Michael Hayes is listening, because he's the one that cloned that sucker right there, man. His uncle was unbelievable, unbelievable, and his mom and dad. His mom and dad are great people, and but it was. That was a fun year, wasn't it, Travis?
That was awesome. It was, as the cherry on top of my career.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
You go from having nothing, and I mean nothing,
right,
to what do you need next? I'm like, I don't know. Well, your batting gloves has got a hole in them. I'm like,
yeah.
What's that cost?
What? Yeah.
Hey, Travis, in the SEC, $4 and 1 bag didn't cut it, did it?
No.
It was like steak dinners and pasta and everything, man. We lived it up after those last 4 years, or my 4 years at Lincoln Trail, man. We had some cash, didn't we?
So wait a minute. At Kentucky, they never didn't feed you if you played bad?
Yeah. No.
And then said, "Well, they told me they got to feed us. We're going to White Castle.
Yeah.
I need 36 White Castles. We each get
No,
one."
no, no. Give me 24 sliders and 24 waters. And I got back and told the AD I fed them.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. We're gonna get you on. We're gonna burn you up, Coach. That's a fact.
Okay. Okay. I'm ready for it. I deserve it.
Now, for all the good you did, the bad does not outweigh the good by 1,000. I mean, you're great. Everybody loves you.
We love you, man. I love you guys big time.
You got it.
Hey, and JJ, we have a Lincoln Trail. What is the date, Travis? August or July 19th, 20th?
Yeah, you set the tone with that because you kept on telling you had summer baseball, so everyone had to default to your dates.
Well, and then Hemi dropped the bomb on me and said he can't make it. So, and he's kind of one of the leaders of all you guys now because he drank more beer than any one of you guys, and you guys all respected that for some reason.
Hey, if you can play, hey, everybody has a role, Coach. Everybody has a role.
All right, guys. This is awesome.
Hey, good luck. I'll be in touch. We'll get you after the baseball
Where's
season.
your sidekick, Jason?
He's right here.
Yeah, I'm
He's
here.
right
Just-
What's up, brother? Hey, man. I listened to the podcast, and awesome, guys. Absolutely awesome. You guys are fun as can be, man.
I feel
Listen
like you're
to-
low-key saying that I'm the funny one.
I have heard that
Well-
on some of the comments that everybody thinks Kyle's the funny one.
Yeah, I can tell this, Kyle. We do need a facilitator, so you're doing a great job.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
He's the babysitter. He's the one that keeps me out of detention.
Right.
You're at Greenwood tonight?
We're at Greenwood at 5:00. Yes.
That's Kyle's alma mater.
Yeah, I graduated there.
See you there.
Maybe. That's not a far drive.
We'll let you sing the national anthem, man.
Right, yeah.
He'll be the old lefty.
Right. Yeah, the really old lefty.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's awesome what you guys are doing, man. It's good that you can let your hair down and talk as you please and be real about things, and it's good stuff, especially this day and age.
Yep.
We try.
Yep.
Bring some funny when it's not funny all the time. So appreciate you, Coach. That's a great surprise, man. I knew Travis would like that. I knew he'd enjoy that.
Love you, buddy. Love you, man.
Coach.
All right, buddy.
We'll see you. Good luck today.
All right, see you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man.
There you go, pal.
I mean, that is. I just want to tell you that's one of the guys that changed my life.
Me too.
I mean, not to get sentimental and all, because I mean it was every day.
Right.
It was a war. I mean, a war. We were 6 deep at every position, Davey.
Right.
The humbling we got when we got to Lincoln Trail is that there were 43 guys in that auditorium.
Right.
And he said, in the first 30 seconds, he said, look to the guy to your right and left because he won't be here at Christmas.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And I'm like, that sets the tone
right
of junior college baseball. And still to this day, me and Robbie joke a lot and talk about talent and this, that, and another. But the best second baseman I ever played with was at Lincoln Trail.
Right.
The best left fielder was at Lincoln Trail.
Isn't that amazing?
Hey, never made it past Christmas.
That's crazy. I may know a couple of who you're talking about.
It's just, I can't believe it because they had so much talent. We're in the fall. We're at Johnson City, and he points towards the left fielder and says, "You won't make it here. This is not for you." And I'm like, "Holy cow! That's the highest recruit we have on the team." He's 90, 92, 93.
Right.
Off the bump, he can throw it. He can hit for power. He can run. He's 6'3", athletic. Probably his best sport's basketball. Then we have the second baseman from Decatur Central.
Right.
And he is an MLB player.
Right.
All the arm in the world. Hits for power. Hits for average. Great hands. Doesn't make it to Christmas.
Well, I mean, we talked about our catcher. The guy could throw, was the first guy in that age group that I knew could throw from his knees and put it on the line. And wasn't even, it was obvious 3 weeks in, he was going to struggle there. And I don't know I don't know. You know what, though, too? You know, I was recruited by him. Well, so were you, twice, right? So, you know, I played for him at 13 years old. Recruited to Lincoln Trail, and then he left to go to UK. So I played for Coach K, and then he recruits me at IPFW, right? And then I finally got to play for him at IPFW. And the people he recruits, it's very easy now looking back at the kind of people he likes. Blue collar, work your ass off. You may not be the most talented. I wasn't. I mean, I'm not fast. I can't throw. You know, I mean, but there's something about that foxhole thing and the people that make it. They're all the same mold. Everybody's the same. I mean, it's amazing. And to be able to build that culture everywhere you go. I mean, especially he goes to Dayton. That's a very expensive high, and he was able to do that. I mean, get those gritty kids from where the money's not a problem. Right. That is a feather in the cap. And I try to explain that to my nephew who plays for him. I'm like, buddy, does he ever say anything positive? I go, not to you. He's not.
No.
He won't.
No.
Because he expects more out of you. I said, when he stops talking to you, you need to call me.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're in some serious shit.
Yeah.
That's when it goes bad.
Yeah. So I had Tony. I had Coach Kastranik, right? And he was, like I said, as Coach referred to, he was an advocate of me because he's seen that I could hit a little bit. And so I started playing right field. I was a catcher in high school.
Right.
But we had Hemsel, we had Ruxer, Troy McKinney, and Danny Oach was a player / assist. Yeah, right. And we just had enough. Right. So that the easy thing was to find somewhere else. And we had great players in right field too, but I just could hit just a little bit better. So Coach K took me aside and said, hey, man, you need to learn how to play third base or corner because at the next level, that's what they're going to look for. Right. So I'll never forget I'm taking balls, and we're 6 deep. Right. All right. So outfielders get done, and they go to infield, right? So outfielders just take ground ball or fly balls. That's all they do. Right. So Coach K mentions, go to third. So I start taking balls at third base. All right. So now we're going pregame, and I'm stuck at third because now we're in pregame. Right. Now all the outfielders go back. He stops in the middle of pregame and says, what are you doing at third base? You're screwing up my program. and he's walking toward me the whole time. Right. And before the conversation gets over, the prima donna, you from nowhere, Bloomfield, I had chew spit on the side of my face because he's screaming at me so loud of how bad I am. I'm messing up his program. I mean, it's just, it's times like that, though, that you're so low. Right. That you don't have anywhere else to go but up. Right. If you find that way to get up,
everything else is a cakewalk.
Yes. Yeah. And so my sophomore year, I didn't drink a drop at Lincoln Trail my freshman year. Right. So my sophomore year, I drank enough for you and everybody else on the team. But I knew how to handle Coach. Right. I knew how to handle when he got on to you because he just knew I was no longer going to be that whipping stick. I was going to react. Right. Or wasn't going to react. I was just going to let my actions speak for it on the field. Right. So that gained me so much more respect. At that point in time, I was probably the team leader, team captain, along with Hemsel. But nowadays, if you just have a little bit of dog, and that's why I try to tell my kids, I said, no matter what you go through in life, that junior college changes you. Right. It puts something inside you that you can fight. You can make it. Now, you're not going to be this such and such 5-star. Right. But you're not going to be that 1 or 2-star either. If you can find your way in that 3 and 4 range, you're going to be okay in life.
A lot of the kids that come out of a program like that because the situation that puts you to be there in the first place. Right. You either got overlooked, right. You had bigger aspirations, you didn't get the grades. There was some chink in your armor that you had to get, that you had to figure out. Yeah. I had to play at a level better than I was. And I'll be honest, I remember like my freshman year, Sarge. I was like, who's this guy that's always hitting? He's here before practice, he's here after practice, and he's just taking soft toss. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I said, hey, can I stay? He's like, yeah. From that day on, for the rest of my career, I was at practice before everybody, and I was at practice after everybody because of the example that he set. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I want to be like that guy.
Well, that was me in my freshman year.
Right. I mean,
I didn't have anything.
Right.
I didn't have anything. I didn't want to really go home and party. I wanted to find my way in the lineup because I didn't want to go home to Bloomfield with my tail between my legs saying, hey, I was just one of those guys that, the coach, she screwed me.
Right.
Lincoln Trails,
lawyer fucked me.
Right.
My favorite line, Kyle.
Right. So that was me my freshman year. Soft toss into broken net.
Right. That's shitty.
And people,
that fucking cinders.
The sophomores walking by me just looking at me like, oh, you suck up. You know, this, that, and another. So Sarge, his freshman year, was one of the same that said, hey, man, I'll stay here next. Well, my uncle had bought me a solo hitter.
Oh, right. Nice.
So I would just, I'd be like, okay, we're leaving. I'd go home straight to the solo hitter. And everyone would come over.
Right.
Terry Johnson would come over.
Right.
Sarge would always be there, and then we would drink beer.
Right.
but we got our cuts in, and it just developed a bond.
It's a galvanization. Right?
Yeah. And he said in the auditorium that day, he said, if you guys can make it through 2 years of this, you can make it through almost anything in life, and that's true.
That's fact. I would say that. I would agree with that. I mean. And those are still your tightest boys. Those are, Bows, Richie, Lauk. Those are my guys. Yeah. Those are my guys. And I was lucky to experience it at 2 more years at IPFW. And the group he brought in there, because that team was 7-40, and that was a true rebuild. He brought everybody was brand new, but everybody was from junior college.
Right.
Everybody. Right. Everybody was from Belleville or Logan. And it was the same. It was like scrappy shit. We had 6 pitchers. And we led the conference in home runs. We would have won the conference if we had any pitching whatsoever.
Right.
But that's what it was, man. It was, and I didn't probably understand it at that point, but I do now because all those guys, every one of those guys is successful. Everybody that kind of stuck it out is successful. Lincoln Trail, everybody, we joke a lot on here. My sister was on. And we talk about junior college, and everybody thinks you're just stupid if you went. That's always the joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, we got guys that are like CEOs of Ronald McDonald Foundation. We got guys that work for the Pacers. We got guys that own their own businesses. I'm like, really not. It's not as stupid as you think. It's a lot of guys that did that because they wanted to see how far they could go, and they wanted to be challenged. And that's the way it was. You would have died in our situation. Imagine how close you guys were. And you guys lived all over town in different houses. We lived in the A-frames together. We were always together.
Right.
So it was like brothers and sisters. You were fighting one night, and then grabbing bats to fight townies the next night. It was
That's
all
true.
over. I remember me and Joe Hurst one night. He was our catcher, scrappy guy. We're running our mouths at each other, and we're in between A-frames fighting. Mm-hmm. People are like, what? Everybody's like, what are you doing? Don't worry about it. So I'm like, fuck you, Joe. Fuck you, Joe. We go the separate way. Well, I get woken up about 2 hours later. Like, hey, man, there's a boatload of townies here. I'm like, shit. He goes, everybody go to Oates' house. We're going to go. So we're going in the back door because they're all out in the parking lot. And as we're walking in, people are handing bats out. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And the person that hands me bats, Joe, right? We're all swollen from beating the shit out of each other. And I'm like, guess we're back at it now, man. But I love that guy, man. I love that guy. There were only really 2 guys at Lincoln Trail that I didn't like. They were younger. Our freshman class was kind of a little bit goofier. They weren't as tied in, a little bit goofy, But outside of that, he had to walk in, and he's all. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. This is what it's all about. So
So you talk about the relationships and friendships. Most people go through life and they have that one friend, right?
Right.
Outside of Lincoln Trail, which I have 4 best friends.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Obviously Robbie.
Right.
He's probably one of my closest friends. Lincoln Trail.
Right.
Right. Then I have Coach Kostranik.
Right.
He's one of my closest friends and former coach.
Right.
So, and I have Johnny Cromwell, and he is out of all my friends, our buddies, so to speak. He's my 3 a.m. friend, and hardly anybody has a 3 a.m. friend because everybody will get you on the flip side.
Right.
I'll catch you when I get up.
Right.
And, you're probably drunk calling me.
Right.
Well, I guess what I mean by my 3 a.m. friend is when I call him at 3 a.m.,
He's in the car on his way.
On the way.
I hear shovels, his pants, and probably a weapon cycling. Hey, I know you need me. But that's what kind of friend he is.
Right.
I mean, he is what everyone wants on their side.
You don't want to be on the other side.
No. No. It's a lot of pain and suffering on the other side.
And he'll still bring the shovel. And
Doesn't need the shovel unless he's burying you.
So he's my 3 a.m. I love him. I had lunch with him last week and his dad and daughter. He's just special. Rob McKeeman. Of course, you guys had him on here. You know him, and I go to battle with him anytime. Coach probably kept me in the lineup the longest at Lincoln Trail. Kept me there.
Right.
Kept me there. And I have Alan Tillerson, who's his co-worker. But he is, they're all special to me. And, 4 out of the 5 are all trailers.
Right. That's amazing. I mean, that is amazing to me, and people don't understand it when you try to explain it. I mean, my sister was at DAC, Danville, for 3 years, dude. Could you imagine 3 years of junior college?
Legend.
And if you get a chance, go back and listen to episode 3 because she talks about walking across. She redshirted because she tore her arm out.
Oh, yeah.
And so she's walking across. The president of the university's come by and goes, Didn't I hand you a diploma last year? She goes, yeah, I like it so much. I'm staying for a master's degree. A master's degree from junior college. What's that? You're out of remedial math. Congratulations, you take a trig this year. Yeah. So back to it.
Yep.
So you're at Lincoln Trail. Obviously, Coach summed it up, man. Everybody that's played for Coach has heard of you. Not to blow smoke up your ass or anything like that, but it's fact. You got to live the dream that a lot of us wanted to, man. You went to Lincoln Trail. You ended up in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
When I say whoa, I mean whoa.
Well, that's the end. Hope you had a blast. If you did, like, follow, comment, and share. And if you didn't and think you could do better, well, smartass, step up and prove it. Either way, thanks for listening, and hopefully we talk again soon. Dog Tags was founded upon 2 principles. Number 1, helping ensure citizens of today and in the future understand their patriotism, as well as the debt of gratitude we owe those who've served. Secondly, we recognize their sacrifices by helping care for their comrades who served our nation. Their history deserves a place at your dinner table, at work, at church, or anywhere Americans gather. We honor the lives they've led, and we cherish their memories. Under these auspices, we are pleased to invite you to participate in the 7th Dog Tags Triathlon, held Saturday, August 6th. Now, you don't need to run, bike, or swim. Our triathlon is a round of golf, a couple games of bowling, and a cornhole tournament. So come help support those who served our country. I'll have contact info in the show notes, or you can message me and we'll get you sorted out. Thank you for your help.